Hello, Kathy. 2 degrees above zero. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what it is here anymore. It was so cold today. So I hope everybody's. Oh, it's 27 right now. So it's not too bad. But we have a winter weather advisory. Let's see. Feels like what? Feels like 22. So it's a heat wave compared to the mornings when I go out. So I hope everybody's doing well today and staying as warm as can be. My heat's been running. It is crazy how cold it is. So we are going to play again with our oops, don't want that to fall. Our Jungle Pals Celebration stamp set. Okay, I hope that the video looks clear. To me, it doesn't, but I know I need new glasses, so I'm hoping. So it has just these cute little jungle animals. They are absolutely adorable. If you remember Fun Fold Friday, we used the little sloth, okay, and created a birthday card. Hey, you're not late. You're fine. So tonight we are using, I don't know if it's an alligator or a crocodile. I'm going to say it is an alligator. And we're going to use the toucan. Now, I've left my iPad inside and I looked up Toucan Sam from Fruit Loops because that is not what they actually look like. Oh, it was my mystery card? Thank you. That's right. Today's Thursday. Ugh, crazy. So I colored him like the Fruit Loop guy instead of a regular toucan. Okay. And I am also using, what did I use from here? Ah, this is the Lifetime of Love. This is also another new stamp set. But I use the dies from the bundle. This one here is this, and this round one is this one here, just to do a little bit something different. So that is the Lifetime of Love dies. And then I grabbed where our Jungle Pals do not have sentiments. I pulled the sentiments from the Wildlife Wonder stamp set. All right. So let's get started. I'll just remind you that if you make a purchase in the month of January using the host code on the screen, you will get the PDF for my monthly craft box. And this month it is the Adoring Hearts. I think that's what it's called. Let me just check. Yep, the Adoring Hearts craft box. And here are the cards this month. So you'll get the PDF so you could create these cards. And you will also get a pack of embellishments as a thank you. All right. So that is my ordering special using the host code on the screen. So we're going to start with this card here because I know I need to, I believe, I must run this through. I think I have to run it through the cut and emboss machine, and I do. So let's go through what we need to create this card, and then I'll quick run it through and emboss it. So we're playing with Native Navy tonight, and this is 11 by 4 1/4. Hi, Margaret. Hey, Kathy and Bonnie. How are you? Thank you so much. Florida, not too sunny, a little cold. I bet it's not as cold as here, or actually as cold as where Kathy is. So we're starting with Native Navy, 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5.5. Okay, and it's going to be a portrait card, and then we're going to layer it up. Of course, I'm having a hard time not layering my cards, so to make them lighter, since the postage is going up, if it didn't already. I haven't even checked. So I'm going to layer it up with some Parakeet Party. And this is 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then we're going to add an additional layer of basic white, which is 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. And you don't have to keep track of the measurements because I will have them on my blog for you in the morning. Okay. And then last but not least, we're going to layer it up with another piece of basic white, which is 4.5 by 3 1/4. And this is the one I am going to emboss. Now I'm using the basic 3D embossing folder. I believe it's still on the online exclusive page. And I am just going to quick run this through. I don't know why I didn't do it ahead of time. As some of you may know, I mentioned it before, I'm in the process of redoing my bathroom. Hey, Karen. It went up to 63 cents last year. It's supposed to go up again this month. You have 25 and, oh gosh. Oh my goodness, where are they putting all that snow? We got about 4 inches, and we're supposed to get another 2 to 4 tomorrow night. So we'll see. We will see. All right. So I embossed it with that Basics 3D embossing folder. And then I also grabbed a piece of Parakeet Party, and this is 3/4 by 5, and I ran it through and embossed it with the same embossing folder. Just make sure this is the right size. And then I have a piece of Native Navy 5 by 3/8. And what I'm going to do, instead of using a complete piece, I am just going to add a little bit of glue right to the edge. All right. And then I am going to add this piece of Native Navy. Oh, that's not going to work. Let me grab another one. Holy smokes, too short. Too short. All right. So I cut it crooked, but that's okay. So we're just going to lay this right on the back. And I'm going to turn it over to make sure I get it on here straight. And I may have to remove it. And so we're just putting a little edge on it. Okay. And then we're going to take this piece and add some glue. And then we're going to add it to this basic white piece that we embossed. All right. And I did make it a little longer so I can trim it down so it's even with the basic white. All right. Makes it a little easier to get a nice straight edge. going to line it up and cut that off. And do the same thing on this side. So now it's nice and even with the edge. Okay. Now that we have our layers, we can adhere them all together. So we're going to put this emboss layer on our basic white. We want to make sure it's centered. We have about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And then we can add some glue and adhere it to our parakeet party. Lift it up so I can scoot it over. Okay. And then we're going to take this layer and add some glue and add it to the front of our card. Just going to lift it up so I can get it on there straight. Aw, thank you. Postage going to 68. Thank you, Margaret. So it's going up 5 cents. Wow. All right. So there is the front of our card. And like I said, I die cut this vine wreath from the Lifetime of Love, okay? And it's available in the mini catalog. And I am just going to add little bits of glue all around. I don't want to add too much where it leaks and shows through, but we want this adhered to the front of the card. So this was Sheba's first real snow on the ground. Last year, we didn't really get anything. And I have to say, she loves the snow. She does not like the cold. So we're having a rough time in the morning when we go outside. She'll go out, she'll pee, and then she wants to come back in. All right, so it is adhered to the front of the card. Now in the dies for our jungle pals, and don't mind I didn't even put them back. There's leaves, there's flowers, okay, there's grass. So I actually die cut some leaves in flowers in Night of Navy, and then I also die cut a couple leaves. Here's my other one here. All right, just so we can decorate the front of the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this large leaf and I'm just going to add glue to the bottom, and we are going to add it just right there to our card. I'm going to turn over my flowers. I'm going to grab some mini dimensionals. And I'm just going to grab my pokey tool. And we're going to add a dimensional to each of our flowers. And we're just going to add some flowers to this top corner. I'm going to grab some rhinestones. Now these rhinestones here are no longer available, but I believe there is iridescent rhinestones in the store. I'm just trying to use up some of my embellishments. And then I'm just going to add some glue, and I am going to just tuck this leaf right under our flowers. Okay, now we have the toucan, and he's really cute. And I am going to, let me grab a piece of colored cardstock. All right, this way you can see him a little better instead of on my white table. And we're going to just quickly color him up. Like I said, I looked to see what color toucans really are, because I did not know. I thought they had a colorful beak, and they do, but not like this. This little guy actually looks like the Fruit Loops bird. All right. So we are going to color up his body with light gray granite. No, we're not. That one's too light. Let's grab this one. Dark smoky slate. Let's see if this is the color I want. Yep, I want dark smoky slate. So I'm going to color him up in dark smoky slate. And let me see if I can move my camera down without it getting blurry. So we're just doing the outside of him. We're leaving his belly. We're just doing these outside feathers. And just doing them up quick. Okay, real quick. So that is the smoky slate. Then I'm going to take the dark pebbled path, and I'm going to add some shadow. So I'm going to just put some at the bottom of these pieces on his head, and the bottom of his wing. And then we're going to do his tail up a little bit. And this wing over here, completely dark. All right, so there's his body. Now I will take that light gray granite, and I'm just going to come around his beak, and then the bottom of his belly. Just come up a little bit, just like that. And then we can do that beak. So I'm going to start with, what is this? Light Daffodil Delight. I'm going to start with the Lemon Lolly first. And I'm going to actually color in his beak. And I'm going to leave a white strip right in the middle. Oh, I forgot his tongue. All right. And then I'm going to go to Dark Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to put a streak at the top and get that bottom. And then I'm going to go to Light Daffodil Delight and add a line. Oh, it's almost dead. So I'm just adding some shadow by using my different colors. I have light real red, light poppy parade, and dark real red. So again, I'm going to get some dark real red at the top and the bottom. I'm going to do light real red next. And then I'm going to grab some Poppy Parade. I'm just going to turn it upside down here. And again, I'm going to leave just a little white line right in the center. I don't know if you can see that really well. Yeah, to look to look it up. If you want to do it as realistic as you can, sometimes you can't. All right, so there's that. And then we're going to grab some dark Night of Navy. And I'm going to do the top and the bottom of his beak. And then we're going to take light Night of Navy. And we're going to add some light Night of Navy. And then I actually have Azure Afternoon Light. And I'm going to turn them upside down because I want to leave that strip of white. So I'm going to follow it from the red. And that just gives his beak a little bit of a shine. You can see that white. And then I'm going to take that Azure Afternoon again, and I'm going to color in his eye. And then I'm going to take some dark Poppy Parade, and I'm going to do his little tongue inside. I forgot to do it on this one. Let's add his tongue. All right, so there he is. So now that he's all colored up, I can bring my card back in. I can grab some dimensionals. And I'm going to add him right over here by that leaf. And then I'm going to grab an additional leaf. And I'm actually going to add the glue to the front side bottom. I'm just going to stick it under him and glue it to his underside. Let's just make sure it came up. There we go. Now, ladies, this set is available in the Celebration catalog. You can get the stamp set or the stamp set and the dies. All right, now for the sentiment, which I forgot to cut. Shame on me. It's 3/4 by 2 7/8. So let's get this. 2 7/8 and 3/4. Hopefully I get this. Yep. All right. Now the send in birthday wishes is the sentiment from Wildlife Wonder. And I am going to grab my Night of Navy stamp pad, and ink it up really good. And we are going to hope we get this in here straight. Not bad. And then we're going to grab some dimensionals and we're going to pop this up onto the front of our card. Now I left off a ribbon on this card, so I figured a toucan, you could always use it for a masculine birthday card. All right. And I have my 2 rhinestones, and I am just going to grab one more and put it right there. So there is the front of our first card. Now for the inside of our card, I have a layer of Night of Navy. And this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then I have 3 3/4 by 5. And I am going to do the same thing to the inside as I did to the outside. Again, I cut it short. What the heck am I doing? I don't know. Let's see. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm just cutting a piece that's a little larger than my layer. Let's make sure this is long enough. And it looks to be. Let's grab that embossing folder. And I am going to run this piece through with the same embossing folder as the front of the card. I've just been off my game lately. I'm just, like I said, I was starting to tell you, I am working on painting and redoing 2 rooms. My bathroom off the bedroom and the TV room. And just trying to get finished. I'm getting there. It's a lot of work. And there's always something that suffers. So I get up in the morning, work on my cards, and then start painting and I'm redoing everything. I bought some furniture, and so we're going to do the same thing that we did to the front of the card. We're going to put it right at the edge here. Make sure it's right on the edges. Okay. And then trim it down. So put this in, line it up with the blade, and cut it off. And I'm just going to make sure that this side is trimmed. Oh, see, it needed a little trim. And then we're just going to adhere it to the inside of the card. Now, I don't really like gluing my inside basic white because it shows through sometimes. So we're going to line this up. Now I will glue it. And where we have the green to the left, I'm going to open up my card and I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to put the green to the right. And there is our first card. All right. Thank you. So now with card number 2, we again have some Night of Navy. This time, though, it's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4.25. And I'm just looking, my bone folder walked away. All right, so there is our card layer. And then now, again, we are going to layer it up. I want to make sure I have the correct layers. We have basic white layer, 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. We have an additional layer that I'm going to run through and emboss, 3 3/4 by 5. Then we have a layer of Night of Navy, 3 by 4 1/4. We have a layer of Parakeet Party, 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. And we have some basic white, 2.5 by 3 3/4. We also have this frame from that same Lifetime of Love stamp set and die, or bundle, I should say. I'm going to just take out all these little pieces. It's a very delicate die, so you may want to adhere this using an adhesive sheet. So you would add the adhesive sheet to your cardstock and then run it through, because it's very, very delicate. And then I also have a piece of grass, and here he is. I left him in my box. Our little alligator that I stamped in memento and die cut. All right, it is a pretty die. So before I run it through and emboss it, I'm going to grab my Night of Navy, and I'm going to grab For All the Great Things You Do, and I'm going to ink it up, and I am going to stamp it right up here on the left hand corner, hoping that it gets on there straight. And it did. All right, so there is our sentiment for the front. So I'm just going to run this through. So let's do that first. And you know that this is the front of my cardstock because I have my sentiment. The front of the embossing folder is the side with the logo, the Stampin' Up logo. So you want to put your paper in so it shows just like the logo shows, and that is the right side instead of the wrong side. So the layer is now embossed, so it's rough on this side, it's smooth on this side, okay? And then I am going to take my second piece, and I'm going to quick run this through too. All right. So there we go. So we're just going to adhere this embossed layer to our basic white. So I just want to get this on here straight. Make sure it's centered. And then we're going to layer it up with these pieces. So we're going to adhere. Let me just clean off my glue tip here. We're going to adhere the basic white to the parakeet party. Just lift it so I can center it. And then we're going to adhere this layer to our Night of Navy. Again, making sure it's centered. Okay, so there's that layer. Thanks, Karen. Well, stay warm. 11 degrees. Yes, I will be on in the morning with our Fun Fold Friday. I still don't know what I'm going to make. I think I'll finish up the week with this stamp set, though, so you can see all the different ways that you can create with this stamp set. All right, so now let's pull this in and our frame. And again, I just want to, there's a little piece there, dot some glue around just so it doesn't squeeze out all over. But I want to make sure that it adheres to the front of the card. All right. So I'm going to take it and line it up so it is at the end of the Night of Navy and it lines up with the parakeet party layer. And we're just going to adhere that down. Okay, just like that. Next, we are going to pop this up onto the front of our card. I'm just going to use the edge pieces. Waste not, want not, right? All right, so we can bring our card back in. Make sure it opens the right way. And we're just going to center this right on the front of the card. Okay, so there is our card front so far. Let's pull in our little alligator. I'm assuming he's an alligator. And we're just going to color him up really quick. I have light parakeet party and I have dark and light old olive. So I am going to give him a quick color and I'm going to go around his eyes because I want the whites of his eyes to be white. And then we're going to just run some color. We've got to avoid his teeth. Okay. We can do these little pieces on his back. I'm going to turn them so I can see the lines. And so I don't leave too many streaks, I try to go from line to line and fill in. And then you don't leave as many streaks if you completely brush it around. Let's get these little pieces. All right, so he is just colored with Parakeet Party. Now let's add our dark old olive. So I am going to add it underneath his top jaw. Okay. I am going to add it to this front leg. And I'm also going to add it to the back section of his leg on his body. And the same on this side. This back leg here. And we're going to hit under his head. Then I'm going to take the light old olive and just extend these lines. Add it around his eye. Let's go on the top of his snout. Extend it down here. We're going to come around this foot. Add some there. So we're just adding some shadow, an additional color. And then let's get him right there. All right, so just really quick to give him some color. All right. Oh, that's okay, Kathy. No worries. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take him and we are going to put him in the grass. All right. I'm going to put, so he's in the grass. And I'm going to turn him over. And I'm going to grab some more dimensionals that I cut. And we're going to add it. So the dimensionals actually hold him to the piece of grass. And then we'll be able to pop it up onto the front of our card also. So let's pull our card in. I'm going to line this grass up with the bottom of this frame. So I'm going to lay it on that frame. And he's looking back at that sentiment. And we're going to add some bling. And I'm going to take a large one and put it over here. We're going to grab some of this native navy and gold ribbon. It's so pretty. And we're just going to make a quick bow. And this ribbon, the glitter, as I pull on it, comes off. So be aware. Make sure my loops are even. And see all the glitter. Let's grab a glue dot. Now this ribbon is a little stiff, so I'm going to actually add 2 glue dots to the front of my card. Did I get it all? Nope. There we go. And adhere our ribbon. All right, so there is card number 2. He's in North Dakota, welcome. How is your weather? All right, now let's go to the inside of our card. And we have a layer of basic white, 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then we have an additional 5 by 3 3/4. Now for the inside of this card, I am just going to grab a flower. Let me make sure I have the right piece, and I do. So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue and my flower. We're going to add it to this corner. And we're going to grab the "You Mean So Much to Me." So we're going to ink it up. Let's put it in the right direction, Jane. And we're going to stamp it right here. And again, I don't really want to glue this layer in, so we'll add some seal. Gosh, there's glitter all over. That ribbon is beautiful, but the glitter is crazy. And we're going to line these up, and then we can glue it to the inside of our card. All right. So here is one. He's so cute, isn't he? And here is our second card. So again, just as a reminder, thank you so much. -2 below zero and winds of around 20 foot. Yes, it is. Please, please be safe. Thank you so much. Parakeet Party and Night of Navy. So for my ordering special, you place an order during the month of January, I will send you a free pack of embellishments, and I will send you a PDF that goes to my craft box for the month of January. And like I said, it is the Adoring Hearts cards set. Thanks, Margaret and Kathy. Yes, you guys stay warm too. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 with our Fun Fold Friday. Not sure what I'm making yet, but we'll find something. Ah, you're so welcome. So have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.